So this Honda Civic 1.5 TC has been in our family for over 2 years now. When my wife was looking to replace her Mazda 3 in 2018, this was the obvious choice for us, as it was the only turbo car in the price range and it had all the specs you wanted in a modern car, except maybe automatic wipers and front sensors, though you do get them now on the facelift model. More importantly, it also has 6 airbags, which in my opinion is something you can't compromise on these days. Truthfully, the choices were pretty limited, as my wife did not want an SUV or a hatchback, and we thought it'd probably be best for her to have a new car, considering my cars were always in need of maintenance. I was driving an Audi S4 and a Project E36 then. The car has been great though, and we've gone on a few family road trips with it too. It's everything you expect from Honda ownership: practical, reliable, and we know that it will hold its value really well too. Of course, we all know owning a car is a lot more than that, so here's my honest long-term review of the car. This is really quite subjective of course, but I loved how this 10th generation Civic looks now. The FD was really nice for its time too, and I still want an FD2R, but I think the car looks nice and modern. The tail lights of course are definitely quite controversial and are often compared to prawns and crabs, but I think they look pretty good once you get used to them. The front lights, especially the full LEDs on the TC Premium, are pretty cool, and the DRLs look great on all trims. The non-P for the pre-facelift models do have normal halogen lamps though. There are lots of body kits available if that's your jam, but it looks great for what it is. I like how the whole interior looks. The steering looks properly modern and feels great, though the volume button takes a while to get used to. The pedal shifters are plastic, but not very useful anyway for a CVT gearbox. The infotainment screen is average though, and I don't really like how the interface looks and feels, but you do get Android Auto. The unique dashboard gives you some interesting storage space and cable routing options. One big negative is how little room you have for your left leg, and that's the thing that bothers me the most. The slimmer front seats are also kind of strange without the shoulder support, but it's not something that you really notice. The digital dash is a nice touch, though it's actually just one small screen in the center, but quite cleverly done. Plus, you can have a digital boost meter. There's also lots of space inside and a huge boot too, though the rear seats unfortunately do not fold down on the pre-facelift car. Now this is where it gets interesting. The biggest letdown has got to be the CVT for sure. It's just really strange when you're trying to accelerate a bit harder and it just sounds terrible. It works though for sure and makes sense for the everyday driver, and to be honest, my wife has no issues with it. The fuel consumption is pretty amazing too. The power is also great from the 1.5 VTEC turbo, and a big step up from the usual 2-litre NA engines in the class. You can overtake when you need to and accelerate pretty effortlessly, which is what you want in your everyday car. Unfortunately, there's no drama or noise other than a whining CVT though. The seating position gets nice and low, which is something I really like. It handles well too, though I must say I don't really feel like I want to drive it particularly hard whenever I'm behind the wheel. The ride quality is pretty average as well, and nothing to write home about. As my daily is now an F30 328i, I thought it's an interesting comparison, as you can easily get a used F30 for less than a new Civic. It is quite a bit older though, and you have to go through the whole hassle of buying a used car. It is definitely something to consider if you are okay with spending more time and effort on maintenance, and if you enjoy driving, it may be worth the trouble and extra risk. The F30 is definitely a lot more refined, has so much more power, and a much better gearbox, and even my wife commented how much nicer it is to drive than her Civic. The F30 is surprisingly a relatively easy car to maintain, so it's not as scary as you may think. I'll be doing more videos on the F30 too, so do subscribe if you are interested. So I think the Civic is a great choice, especially with the added specs of the facelifted model. If you want a reliable car that has enough power, is fun to drive, and really practical, then you really can't go wrong. It looks great too and is priced very well. It's definitely a safe choice that lets you sleep well at night. We've not had a single thing go wrong in over 2 years of ownership. However, if you really like driving and don't mind spending time and money on maintaining a car, I'd look at the used F30 or Golf GTI instead. So thanks for watching, subscribe, give it a like, leave a comment if you have any questions, and I'll see you in the next one.